That's just what happens with them.
Many of these ladies were in that last photo.
How many of you remember Big Bad John? That's not bad. The rest of you just forgot, right? Okay, so you've got a part. You probably remember it goes like this. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John, and then into. Okay, so the words aren't really difficult, which is important for us, you know. So let's hear you do that. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John.
He grew up in the South, Texas, Arizona. Vietnam vet, flew Air Force jets. Stands 6'3", tall and lean like a tree. Got a John Wayne walk, heads turn and gawk.
Big John, Big John,
Big John, Big Bad John,
Big John.
The mountains were calling and he joined CMC. Respected and revered, he exudes safety. A dedicated leader, quite thorough and smart. He owes Miss Lawson for her teamwork part. Big John,
Big John,
Big John, Big Bad John,
Big John.
Big John. Armed with maps and gear, he's a man with a plan. Has a big following by popular demand, keeping us in line high, up and down low. A pack on his back and he's ready to go.
Big John, Big
Big
John,
John, Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big John, Big John.
So how many celebrations of life have you been to where you had music like that? Thank you very much, and thank you, John, for your guitar and leading. So now we'd like to hear from you as to some stories that happened when you were on one or two of John's trips. And I can call on people, or you can stand up, so you can decide whether you're a volunteer or whether you're an appointee. Who's got a story? Ova,
Come on up.
come on down.
I met John about 10 years ago when I moved to Denver from Colorado Springs. And I met him through Linda. At that time, Linda and I were working on the Denver Trip Leaders School, kind of reorganizing it and redoing the curriculum. That's when I met him. What I learned about John and working with him since then on multiple projects that involved the club was that he didn't suffer fools. He was always geared towards excellence, and he didn't mind stepping on toes to get there. You could have a contest of words with John. You walked away enlightened, maybe chastised, but you always walked away knowing that you'd walk again with him, because for him, he was not ever driving anything at you personally. What he was always looking for was the best out of you and the best out of the things that he was interested in. And that is what drove him. So he would never have made it in politics. And one of the things he said to me was, geez, Uwe, you can talk to anybody and say anything and mean nothing and everybody gets along, because I can't do that. I gotta tell people what's up, what's straight, what's wrong, which way we gotta go, because that's how I've lived my life. And I've been successful in that path. Unless you've got something better for me, Sartori, you're gonna go in this way. So he and I had a good relationship, an honest relationship. I'm a better human being for having met him and worked with him and gotten to know him. And I can say the club is a better club for having him in the club. As you can see, I'm wearing one of his legacies. These are the things that John did for the club. He was a creator, an innovator, didn't let things stand in the way, and full speed ahead. And if you were like caught under his feet or left in his wake, his comment was, drag your ass, pick up and let's go, because we got to get somewhere and I need you to help me get there. So to me, John was a leader in excellence, and a friend.
Thank you.
I just want to support Uwe's story that 10 years ago, 2013, Uwe, John, and I, and a consultant that CMC had hired, but he was working with us. We called ourselves G4, Group of Four. And our focus at that time was how to improve the club, because we faced the same problems 10 years ago that we face now, which is aging out, declining leadership, members that don't stay, not enough schools, etc. So 10 years ago, we were looking at all of that, and we're still looking at it today. Next person that would like to relate a story. Okay, Miss Robbie, come on up.
I love that guy. And I met John when we were going to start what's now the Ascending Hikes program, and somebody, probably Linda, told me about his bootstrap hikes. Anybody know about those? He would take people out every week, and he had a handout, and it just sounded much more complicated than I could do. But it sounded like something now I know John would do. But I did get from him this list of things that, he's called it an assessment of a hiker's needs, but it was really things that hikers did that bugged him. And, I won't read it to you because I have another better story, but a lot of them involved the woman who wouldn't pee in the woods. She was required, she didn't want to pee in the woods. She said she wasn't going to pee in the woods. Things like that, and my challenge was to take all of these, they had little check marks, so I thought maybe it was like a bingo card or something. And my job was to take all of those and turn around and make them positive. So now we have hiker's etiquette, but John was the basis of that. The other story I want to tell is probably, I don't know if anybody knows about it, The very first hike I did with him was at Castlewood Canyon, and I remember him saying, I know this, it was winter, I know this whole nest were rattlesnakes, a whole nest of them, we're gonna go see them. And it was somebody's LIT, I remember that, maybe the person is here. And that sounded great, and I'd never been to Castlewood, and I was all excited. Well, one woman showed up, we were just getting going, and she showed up late, and she was at the top of the stairs calling out to us as we were taking off. And she wasn't a member of the club, and later turned out she has MS, and she was there to hike Castlewood Canyon. So you can imagine what responses might be. John excused himself from the rest of the hike, gave the LIT person, you know, you're in charge, although he didn't tell him where the rattlesnakes were. And John went up to the top of the stairs with her, spoke to her for a few minutes, and then he took her down the stairs and on a private little hike around so she could do what she came to do. That was my first introduction to him, rattlesnakes and being kind to the woman with MS. It's just, he was a great guy. So I miss him, and I just love that guy. He was a real mentor to me.
Hi, I'm Jeff Lax. I know most of you. I'm the interim CEO of CMC, and I've known John since I joined the club in 2008. I don't think anyone ever questioned John's commitment to the club, and his detail-oriented was just amazing. I went on Denver Group Council, and he and Linda had come up with this, was it about 30-page avalanche plan that I think took probably a month to try to dissect and figure out what was going on. John's attention to detail and learning about SITREP, right, situational awareness, really, I think, grew us all. And John's drive towards data and trying to understand what's going on in the club was hard to do at that time. John, I don't know how many hours. I mean, you talk about a 350-mile recognition. He would have gotten, I don't know how many electrons gave up their lives and letting John analyze what was going on with the club. So we'll miss him. His work, you know, I remember when he and Linda came up with the idea of the backpacking section. And it was, okay, yeah, we're gonna have another section, we've got all these sections. All of a sudden, there was this page of just incredible detail of committees and who was gonna do what and who's responsible. We had a leader committee in it. It was like, whoa, where did this come from? This is not typical CMC organization where we do a good job and put things together as we go along. It just was there. ATA wouldn't be here without Lynn and John, and that was such a critical addition to the club and our safety and really who we are. So we'll miss John, and thank you very much.